Video Productions presents from Cleveland, Ohio, the 1993 Snapple Invitational All-Around Challenge number 2. I'm Bill Incardona, along with Frank Zummo, the promoter of this fine event. And Frank, the feature match this evening, well, what can you expect? You can't expect a better match than what I feel we're going to get from these two great players. I mean, Lou Butera holds many titles in straight pool, plus he's a Hall of Famer. His opponent is Grady Mathews. Supposedly, Grady Mathews' best game is one pocket, but I think it's straight pool.
Well, you know, Billy, that's interesting. You know, the champions play all the games. Grady, you know, he's known as the one pocket master, but Grady plays an excellent game of straight pool. I held a tournament 8 years ago in Cleveland, and Grady Mathews won it, defeated Alan Hopkins for the title. So Grady can play straight pool with a lot of the champions. He's not known for a straight pool game.
Well, Grady and I, we quarrel all the time with one another, and it's all probably a lot of fun to it. It's a lot of fun. But I really respect Grady as a player and as a person.
Well, Grady,
but the game I feel he plays best is this game right here, straight pool. And I really have to give him a lot of credit. I love the way he plays straight pool. I wouldn't be surprised to see Grady run 100 or 150 balls in this match.
Well, Grady's he's more of a methodical player, I would think, than a big explosive runner. But he'll hit you with a 60, 70 ball run, play safe, and then hit you with another 60. So which is every bit as effective as the big run. But Grady has every bit the capability of running 100 balls or more, and I've seen him do it many times. So in this match here, Lou better watch out, or Grady's able to beat him.
Okay, Lou Butera, in the all-around the format which you've adopted here, the all-around format, Lou Butera is tied with Mike Zuglin for the lead, 4 wins and 1 loss. Lou Butera has to play an awfully good game of straight pool to defeat Grady Mathews. That's my prediction, not that he can't. Lou Butera is a great player. He's going to really have to be careful because Mathews is a very explosive player.
Well, what just happened recently, Grady just had a very tough loss to Jimmy Fusco, where I believe Grady had a 90-ball lead. Jimmy came back to win the match, so I don't know how fast he'll be able to recuperate from that, those tough losses.
Well, this is actually reminiscent of the way they started out, that is, the match between Mathews and Mizrak started. Both players taking a few intentional scratches, and then what happened in that match?
Well, Steve Mizrak got the first shot. He was 3 balls in the hole. He proceeded to run 153 balls and out. So this back scratch is a very strategic part of the game. If you see now, Grady's first advantage, if any, would seem to go to Grady, because at least he has a shot. Lou was left on the back rail, didn't have a really good shot, and he played safe. And Grady, although not much, does have a shot. I imagine. I thought he'd shoot the 3 ball in the corner, but it's like he's going with the 5 ball in the corner.
Maybe there's a better chance of him playing shape on the 3 for a break shot. And if he makes the 5, he could end up with some sort of a shot on the 3 to break the balls with. But it looks like he's gotten the cue ball a little out of line here if he expects to break the balls.
Right, he wanted to get on the 3. He just left himself too severe a cut shot. So again, being he's a great one-pocket player, he knows most of the safes, so he just stuck Lou on the rack. And again, the advantage would seemingly be with Grady at this moment.
Right now, they're trying to figure out exactly what the score is after the few back scratches that they've taken, and now Grady's pocketed 1 ball. Sometimes it's difficult to subtract 1 from 2. But they managed to do it. Thank you.
We've seen these type of matches where seemingly forever they're back scratching, and one guy's getting advantage in the safe, and the other guy comes right back with it. So it's just a matter of who has the patience, to keep playing the good safe, and eventually he'll get the shot. It's very important in this type of match to beat your opponent to the shot, and run a couple racks or more if you can. Grady seemingly, he's indecisive, but I think he's going to skin the 3 ball and leave the cue ball on top of the rack, maybe leaving Lou with a little gopher shot here on the 8 ball.
Yeah, he's hit this with excellent speed, it looks like. Notice, after the cue ball came in contact with the bottom cushion, it didn't leave that area it just stayed around exactly where it hit. I would have ventured to say it's only about a quarter of an inch off the bottom cushion, and that's excellent speed.
Well, we know, Lou is not one to play safe when he doesn't have to, and he's playing his 8-ball. Yeah, shows you what I know. He played a tremendous safe here. He has stuck Grady inside the 14 and seemingly very safe. Nice shot by Lou. I'm surprised though that he passed up the obvious break shot.
And that's one of the rare times that you're going to see Lou Butera opt to play safety instead of going for the offensive shot. This time it looks like it's worked well for him.
The problem Grady has here now, it doesn't seem to be anywhere he could stick Lou to where Lou won't have a shot on the 8-ball, and possible more back scratching coming up, but I'd be surprised to see him play an excellent safe and not leave Lou a shot on the 8.
Well, he's either going to have to, I think he's almost forced to either bank the 14 here or back scratch maybe once or twice again to create some sort of a situation. Oh, look, he's played a nice sort of safety going into the 7-ball, setting the 6 to the cushion. I do believe it's, unless he's left Lou with a 14-8 combination.
Right, Lou's definitely playing the 14 into the 8-ball here. Over the ball, and he executed it well. Now, left himself with a nice 6-ball breaker here. Well, he elected to use the 9 as a breaker behind the rack instead. Either way, it'll do the job.
He has to be careful now. He allowed the cue ball to leave that bottom cushion too, and it's gone top table too far for him to break the balls using the 9.
Right.
At least in the fashion that he wanted to.
He broke the balls off, and he ended up with an excellent shot. He looked like he was fairly straight on that ball, but he made a nice shot out of it. He just rushed that 9-ball a little bit. He wanted to, make himself an angle, and he shot a little too fast.
Is this Simona's 740?
760.
760?
Right. It's,
well, sometimes when you're playing on 760, that type of a break shot is much more effective on 760 because the balls seem to open up with less effort because of the speed of the cloth.
Exactly. There isn't a lot of nap on this cloth, so they will break open, as we've noticed here in this tournament. Well, Lou has beaten Grady to the first shot, and let's see if he can capitalize on it. I always say if two evenly matched players match up against each other, whoever breaks out first, more times than not, will win the match.
I like to have an accurate percentage on just how often the player does win the match, the player that jumps off to a quick start.
Well, just as we talk about quick starts, Lou misses a ball straight in. I don't know if anyone actually has done that type of survey, but I would venture it's over 50%. Like if, let's say, for instance, a player jumps out to a 50-ball lead.
Oh, absolutely.
He has to be a big favorite to win that match.
I would think so.
Grady, now again, we were talking about him suffering the effects of the previous loss, but this is a different game. You have to put that in the past and concentrate on this game. And I believe, being the polished professional he is, that's exactly what he'll do.
Yeah, I'm sure that he will. I met him outside prior to this match beginning, and I mentioned to him that how did Fusco come from behind and beat you that match? And he says, well, a lot of bad things happened to me, He says, but I feel pretty good, so it doesn't much matter. It's not going to affect me. So he's not one that dwells on the past. So I look for him to play well in this match.
Exactly. And, plus the fact that, being that he's sitting there with a record of 1-4, he has no margin for error anymore.
No, he doesn't.
We're going to be heading into the most of the 9-ball competition, and if Grady goes down 1-5, then he has almost an insurmountable comeback.
And plus, he really doesn't like the game of 9 balls, so therefore, in order for him to cash in this tournament or do well in this tournament, he'll have to do well in a game that he doesn't like to play.
Right, so that's why we were talking about last night where Lou Butera, jumping off to the big lead that he did, it has to do nothing but help his confidence going into the 9-ball.
Of course, if either game was Lou's stronger game, naturally it would be straight pull, I would think.
Right.
And for him to jump out to a nice lead in the straight pull is it's very important for Lou to do that, which he has done. Now the confidence that he has, built up in the straight pull may carry over to the 9-ball. He may do well in the 9-ball too.
Okay, getting back to Grady here, he has left himself a perfect break shot. He's right out in the middle of the table, 12 ball, nice angle. I look for him to execute this shot with no problem.
Grady goes around the country and he puts on a lot of exhibitions, and in most of his exhibitions he gets up there and he performs his straight, and he shows the people his straight pool skills, and quite often he gets up there in the first or second time and runs 100 balls, and that's one of the reasons why I really believe that straight pool is his best game, because he definitely knows how to play straight pool. He breaks the balls well, he breaks the balls the correct way, and he goes about running the balls in the correct fashion also.
Right, and again, I believe his expertise in one pocket, helps him in the straight pool. One goes hand in hand with the other, and again, I believe that to be an inexcusable error there. That he had a seemingly easy combination on the one ball. I think he rushed it, and Grady right now is just not a happy man.
It looks like it's the early game jitters that's showing up here in the early going. Both players committing unforced errors on balls which they figured to pocket or put down, which
I believe
they didn't
realize the importance of this particular match, because as I said, Grady cannot afford another loss this early in the tournament, and Lou is well aware that Mike Zuglin's sitting right there with him at 4-1, and knowing the type of player Mike is, you don't want to give him any chance to run away with this thing.
Right, Mike Zuglin, I might say, or you might say, is in the prime of his career or his playing, where Lou Butera, is past that, but still he's a great competitor.
Sure.
And for him to be tied with Mike Zuglin right now at 4-1 is quite an accomplishment in itself, but he still has to really bear down, because he realizes that in order for him to beat out Mike Zuglin, he's going to have to play his best game.
Exactly. Lou, he's left himself down here by the back rail. He didn't really... he turned the cue ball loose on that shot, which I don't advise younger players to do. But again, Lou shoots so well from the rail.
That was a nice shot. He
just nothing tentative about Lou's shots from the rail.
That's for sure.
And now he's back in line, and he has a perfect 7 ball right out there where he would want it. The difficult ball here would be the 10.
And there's a lot to be said about his style, about when you have to shoot a tough shot, there's no really reason to think about it and ponder over it. Lou realizes that he has to shoot a tough shot, and he doesn't, ponder over it. He just gets down and shoots it.
Exactly.
It's just another shot to him.
He's made a combination, and I'm trying to figure what ball he's going to use to get onto the 10. He might just shoot the 7 and leave the 6 ball for a breaker, which is, again, good idea, and he's executed a perfect shot, splitting the 10 and the 2. So from here, I don't see him any problem getting onto the 9 as his key ball. And already noticeably from the start of this match, we see Lou speeding up a little.
Yeah. Now this shot may be a little tricky here, Frank.
He wants to avoid. Well, he caught the kiss, which he didn't want to do, but he's fine. On a shot like that, you want to not draw the ball too much, or you have a pocket there to catch your cue ball, and you have to watch that. But he hit it nice.
Well, he inadvertently ran into the 9, but got up for 2 with his roll, leaving himself a pretty good shot on the 9 to play shape for the break ball, which is the 6. That's rack number 1. Lou Butera has gotten through rack number 1 and takes, I believe, a 13-1 lead after rack number 1. Of course, there were a couple back scratches, and that's going to.
They did a lot of jockeying for position in that rack. Oh, and Lou just went into the rack. I believe Billy he had enough angle on that shot. He just didn't go into it with the right speed, and he's stuck now. So.
And he may have went into the rack with more of a dead ball instead of a push the cue ball through the rack.
That's what it looked like. There was just that ball hitting, just nothing there.
I think you can attribute that to he had a stretch, and when you stretch, you lose something. You lose a little bit of stroke, a little accuracy hitting the cue ball, and other things happen when you stretch.
Well, exactly. I watched last night in Lou's opening match against Rich Leski. He was on an 80-ball run, and he was just. Everything was going perfect, and he had that identical shot. He stretched at the ball, and he missed it. So even the best players in the world are... Oh, what a beautiful shot Lou just made. I was to say, even the best players in the world are confined when they have to stretch.
In the meantime, he recovered quite nicely by kicking in the 2, and he's well on his way to running the second consecutive rack in this all-important match for Lou Butera.
And he'll just go around these balls. Oh, he's going straight on. He wants to get on the 13. That would be a good ball to get out of the way, but he didn't get on that. He's on the 11. He'll slam this ball, I believe. Yes, drew back. He's fine right now. Although the look on his face wouldn't suggest that.
John, let's take an overhead view of exactly the way the balls lay. This way we have a much better idea.
Lou just drilled the bank home and did not get the roll he wanted to get. He left himself, I believe he's safe there.
Well, I don't know if he has a shot. He may have a 7-5 combination.
Is that the 10 ball up there on top of the rack? Where can he make a hit on the 10?
I don't. By the monitor that we have available here, I don't believe that he can hit the 10 full enough to pocket it. He's taking a look at it, or either the 7-5 combination, one or the other.
He's definitely looking to play something because he has the perfect safe with the 9.
3-14 combination he's looking to play.
He did. He drilled it right
very
in.
Nicely
Beautiful
done.
shot by Lou. You know, that's why, I was commenting on the 8 ball that Lou previously passed up early in the match, and, Lou's definitely what you would consider an offensive player.
Absolutely.
And he's not one to pass up an opportunity to put up points on the wire.
All right, it looks like he wants to clear the 15. That's definitely. And at the same time, he may even go into the balls creating a break shot. Oh, he's looking to shoot the 7.
Oh, yeah. Yes, he's going to break him. That little cluster of balls there is the only problem. And he come out real fine. In fact,
Well, he's got a nice break shot with the 12 now, but he must eliminate the 15
15's a bad ball
as quickly as possible.
He'll go over there and kill this ball and come down for 15, I believe, right now. And he could go over across table down there for this 5 ball. I would think that's the shot rather than try to come across the table for the 9.
This shot here plays much more natural than going twice across table for the 9. You really create more of a problem for yourself if you opt to shoot that shot.
He's left himself 2 straight, but he made a perfect draw shot, and hopefully he has a little angle on this 9. But
I think that's about just as much. Well, he hit the 9 ball. A little fat there. That's
right.
Why he was unable to get the cue ball off of the cushion, leaving himself a more difficult shot on the 12 to break the balls in this rack. And in the meantime, Lou Butera has the lead in the match, 18-8. No, I'm sorry. It's now 32-8. And this isn't that easy of a break shot, Frank. What do you think?
No, I'm sure Lou's going to play it, and I would bet on him making it. But another problem that he has there is that, see, he had to lay his cue stick by the side pocket where the rubber is, and you could see where he couldn't, leave his stick flush on the rail, and obviously it helped cost him to miss the ball.
He hasn't really left Grady that easy of a shot. He's shooting over the 5 ball, trying to pocket the 7 in the side, and he was able to come up with a shot.
That was a nice shot by Grady, and that's not the type of shot you want to get up and after sitting down for a couple of racks, you want to get up there and shoot something easy, but he shot that one perfect.
And Grady has position on the 11 to break the balls with him. So he said, well, I'm here. I might as well just go ahead and break the balls now while I have an opportunity.
Right, and he hit it perfect. And if he wants, he can get the 15 ball out of the way now, which up top to the table, and I believe he's going to do that.
He actually played position for the 15 after breaking the balls with the 11. He realized that he would have a shot in the 15 if he needed that.
He's coming down here behind the rack. 8 ball is wide open. And hit the shot really well. But he's not playing the 8. He's playing was the 10 ball. A little break, just a little kick. There's the assurance ball that we talk about often. He could have the 9 or the 12 as his saver.
Well, he may even have the 14 on the side if that's. He may not like that. He has to stretch on this and shoot over a couple balls. He has to be careful not to foul the 5 with the cue stick. Watch out.
We come close to going behind the 3 ball here. I don't know what he was planning there, but he'll have to shoot the 8 ball now. And I would think he'd try to roll up into the middle of the rack here, maybe improve one of those balls, because there's nothing right now, Billy, laying perfect for a breaker. But if he uses a 6 to kick the 5, that's probably it. Knock the 5 right there outside the rack. There, he nudged it perfect. Beautiful shot.
Now he can shoot the 14, I believe, or the 13, one of the two.
And a possible bad ball could be the 3, but if he'll roll it up on the rail inside that one, and takes that problem away.
Okay, he's electing to shoot the 14. He's going down below the 3.
Well, it looked like he tried to get below and shoot the 1, but he's left himself a little out of line there.
He may be forced to even shoot the 3 now if he doesn't like the 1.
Yeah, he's shooting the 1, but again, them pockets are fairly soft that we're using here, so I don't expect those shots to present a problem.
No, he played the correct side of the pocket, and when you're shooting into a large pocket, you really, especially on that angle, you want to favor the rail side of the pocket.
Okay, now the slight problem would be the 2 balls down by this bottom rail, the 9 and the 4, but I don't know if he'll use an angle for the 3 ball here. Or I don't think he'll play the combination.
Well, he's got to do something with this.
He might roll over here. The 4 ball looks like it goes in the same pocket. Or he played a brace shot.
A little risky there.
Very much so. He turned the cue ball loose, and there's no guarantee on that shot.
No, he could have got stuck behind the 9. Had he hit the 4 a little more underneath the 4, he would have found himself behind the 9. But
okay, now if he could hold the 9 ball up and draw, to where he could shoot the 13 aside, that would be a good shot. But he's not doing that, I don't think. And we were talking about leaving in the 5 for the breaker, so.
Well, he can shoot the 4, 13, 5, or else he can shoot the 13, 4, 5.
He's going
whatever
4,
he likes
13.
best.
Let's see if he's going to try to kill that ball for the 13 inside, which he did, and did it well. Now he's perfect for the 13. Grady's a fighter, so he'll fight his way back into this match.
Not that the match is that much out of his hands. I don't know. It's a close match. It's now 32 to 22.
You you look at that. It's like an even game right now with him being at the table shooting a perfect brace shot.
32-22.
So let's see if he just elects to slam into these balls or just draw out and try to leave his cue ball in the middle of the table.
Well, they didn't open up very nicely at all for him. Matter of fact, I don't think he's come up with a shot.
Well, he had at the last minute that 2 ball rolled in his way. He had a nice 1 ball, but
the 6 ball, he may have a shot on the 6 ball. Yes. Now, as we look at the monitor, the 6 does pass.
It's open, so he definitely got a break there. So he should be all right from here.
And after pocketing the 6, naturally the 2-1 go in the same pocket. The 11-14, the 2 balls to the right of the rack seems to be able to be pocketed in the lower left-hand corner pocket, so therefore he has
the 12 ball
a lot of options here. He's opting to break the balls open here.
Right, and the 3 ball should stay right there for a future break shot. I don't know, I'm just thinking far ahead, but that is where you'd like it.
Grady prefers the higher break shot. I always remembered him saying that, and I'm not really an avid straight pool player by any means, but I had the little straight pool that I do play, and I play it every once in a great while. I do try to leave higher break shots only because I remember him saying I kind of like the higher break shots. It's easier to control the cue ball with them and stuff like that. I don't know. But
well, what seems to happen is you'll hit the front row, the front 2 balls, and then you'll skin off into the side rail and then out to the middle of the table. And if you get to perfect that shot, it's a fairly safe shot. But what happens sometimes you hit the cue ball too hard and bounce over the rack and you barely touch it. But Grady's been playing a lot of years, so he has it down pat. I can't tell here whether he's going to. He has a pretty severe cut on the 1. I think he might have to go. He could go 3 rails on his shot or try to hold it up at reverse, which is exactly what he did. Some players would automatically take that natural angle there and just go 3 rails for the 11, but Grady went the easier route. He's not playing. He's going to play the 8-ball, and I don't know if he'll try to draw back or just roll down. See,
Well,
he hit that ball much too hard. I don't know if that ball went in it. It just jawed.
No, he missed the ball.
It just hit
It
it
didn't
too
hit the
hard.
back of the pocket. It didn't have that sound that it makes when you hit the back of the pocket.
You know, when he tried to hold up the 1, I thought he was going to play for shape on the 11, which he decided to shoot the 1. Or it was the 8-ball. And now we find a stage of this match where Lou has a chance to put some distance between him and Grady. Let's see if he can do it. He'll leave the 15 for a breaker. All he has to do here is roll the 11 off the rail, and he has a perfect 3-ball side pocket for his key ball. Went 1 rail and straight on the 3. Well done. Just a little stop shot here, and perfect on the 15. Didn't have to do nothing with that cue ball.
And that's exactly what he did. Stop the ball right in place of the 3-ball, and has a perfect line for the break on the 15. Well, it looks like Lou Butera has taken advantage of the opportunity he was presented with, and he's on his way into another rack. Grady has missed 2 balls in this match that he didn't figure to miss either one.
I would
of
never
them.
have expected him to miss that 8-ball. And I mean, he had the whole pocket to shoot at. Lou he rushed that break shot. He missed it bad, and he's, for the time being, let Grady off the hook. I mean, Lou had a chance there to pull away in this match, and he didn't do it. And how many times can you give Grady the opportunity?
I don't believe that the score is correct on the board. No, he's correcting it now. It's 38 for Lou Butera and 30 for Grady Mathews. Oh, yeah, you know, Grady has to consider himself quite fortunate to be back at the table.
Absolutely. Lou looked like he was going to go up there and
Do some
maybe
damage,
just do a little bit of damage. He had to, got on a perfect break shot. I don't know, just 2 back-to-back careless mistakes by each player, missing balls that normally they would never miss. And you can't afford to do that when you play this caliber of player. Grady seems unshaken by his 8-ball miss, and I'm sure he's put that behind him already. 9-ball rolls up real nice. He has 2 perfect balls. Looks like a 6-ball would be a little better for a breaker over there than the 2 as of right now. Maybe he could nudge this 2 out of the way. No, I thought he was going to shoot the 8-ball.
I noticed that there's not nearly as much slide when you play with the 760 opposed to the 860 after hitting a cushion with the cue ball playing position. I expected more of a slide, but you don't get that much slide with the 760.
Well, I don't know. We've had a couple. I've seen about 4 skidders already.
Not skids.
Oh, you talking about this?
When you play position, you try to kill the ball.
Right.
When you go into the cushion, the rail that has more nap, you would get more slide.
Yes.
Therefore, the rail, the cloth with less nap, you would get less slide because you would catch more and grab, and that's what I recognized when he tried to kill that shot. I said, well, he can expect to get some slide here, and then it came like pretty much right off the cushion, and I can credit that to the 760 opposed to the 860. And there's one has more nap than the other. In the meantime, he's doing a good job clearing the table here.
He seems like he's asserting himself in this match. He has his confidence is up. He's great because Grady is not what you would consider a fast player, and he's moving along pretty well here. I think he senses a little flaw in Lou's game tonight, so he's going to jump on that.
43-39, Grady.
He seems really, you can see the look in his face like he seems anxious to shoot.
They opened up very nicely. You know, he's one of the few players that are playing here in this event that open up the balls for the harder stroke.
Right. I mean, we talked about it. Pat Fleming being one who, if you want to use the term, hitting break shots with authority, Pat really slams them, and some other players. But most of the players here, you know, more, you know, pick away more than to try to just break them wide open. You know, you don't need to break the balls open wide off the initial break, you know, if you know how to play straight pull. But on this cloth, the balls break open exceptionally well, so, you know, you might as well take advantage of it.
Yeah, that's the way I see it, and excellent observation, by the way.
But Grady seems to be, you know, back in form here off his last match.
Let's get an overhead view here, John, and we'll see right away what balls are potential break balls and what balls aren't, and what he may have to start doing a little bit of creating here.
Well, I'm surprised right now. I mean, Grady, this 4-ball looks like a good break shot. Shade low, maybe that's why he's getting it out of there. But he might try to come over right now. You know, I was gonna say nudge the 9, because the 9 is like on the line, and the way it's sitting right now, I don't believe it's a good break shot. He has a perfect setup behind the rack to use the 8 if he'd like to, but we'll just have to wait and see. You know, some players prefer the behind the rack break shots, and some don't. So,
well, he would like to nudge the 9 which he tried to do. He hit the 2-ball. He hit the 2-ball fat in order to control the cue ball and send it toward the 9. He had to have a heavy hit on the 2-ball.
He just
looked like he hit a 2 full almost. He almost missed the ball.
You know, he grazed the 9-ball, but he still didn't get it, I don't think, out of the rack. We might look for him to make another attempt, either to knock the 9 or the 12 out.
And it would have been nice for him to nudge the 9 while he had that 1 for an insurance ball. Now the insurance ball is gone. No, if he nudges the 9, he may have to rely on either the 14 or the 11. And he still hasn't created a break ball for himself.
He's just, you know, and again, he's running out of balls here.
He
and
may be able to stroke the
one rail here into the 9.
Here.
You know, could it be that that ball is open?
I don't believe so.
Because it just looks to us like it's on the line, and Grady doesn't seem to be worried about that problem right now anymore.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see here. You know, because if he has an angle on his 13, he can come right down for the 14-3, and the 5-ball would be his key ball, but that's assuming the 9 being open. Unless what he can do also is get on the 3-ball, gets angle on the 9, and leave his cue ball on the rail for the 5 breaker. He's really crossing us up this rack, isn't he, Billy?
Well, you know, I don't really see anything clear cut here in this rack, and I'm kind of curious to find out exactly what he has in mind.
I have to believe that he's assuming this ball is open.
Well, it looks like it must be open by the way he played position for the 5, and it looks like he's got a little straighter in than more of a straight in shot than he wanted here.
How about a force follow where he goes 2 rails and off the back rail? Side rail, back rail, and out in the middle table. Just like that right there.
Very nicely done.
That's the shot.
Very nicely done.
See,
let's get a top view of this, Johnny. Go ahead.
I was going to say, it's a deceiving, as we're looking at the monitor right now, that ball, it looks so close, but obviously Grady has a better view of it than we do.
Yes, he does, and I don't...
because after that first attempt, he never made another attempt to nudge it.
And if he can shoot it, he's not going to have all that much room to pocket the ball. At least that's the way I read the shot, the way it lays.
And again,
Lou's going to have to be awfully careful racking the balls up. That's how close it is to being a shot.
Well, the score of this match right now is Grady Mathews 57, Lou Butera 39, and yes, the 9-ball is open. Grady, you know, we're under the wrong impression here, but he's hit it perfect, and the ball scattered. Again, he didn't hit that shot hard at all. He just And they opened, well.
He certainly did.
And now he's just, right now he has control of this match.
It looks like the 15, the ball to his left, or the right under the ball he's shooting over, is the identical
exact same
shot to the
spot.
one he just broke.
It looks like that one's touching the rack, and see if we can call this one right. And he has a lot of balls to work with to try to improve that ball.
Well, he couldn't have asked for anything better than that. He alleviated the problem of the 7 right away, kicking it off the cushion, putting it in a much better position on the table.
But getting back to what you were saying earlier in the match, Billy, about Grady being a straight pool player, he's showing us right here that the way he's working his way around these balls, that he definitely knows this game very well.
He's going to have to be careful with this shot here. It's laying rather awkward. So he's going to have to
draw underneath the 15, and
very nicely done.
He just kicked that ball out perfect. So that takes care of any problem he might have had. Maybe a little stop shot here on the 6 on the side to open up, get some of that congestion out of there. Or just shoot the 10, get the 3 out. Either way.
Yeah, I like what he did there.
Now he's perfect. No more hard balls, and
now that the 15 is in ideally positioned now for a nice break shot. The problem ball is the 3 ball.
It almost looks too tempting to pass the 3 ball up into the corner, but I wouldn't advise anyone to do that.
It looks like he's playing shake for the. I thought he tried to get up a little on top of the 3 there, maybe.
3 might be open in this bottom left pocket, and that'll take care of that problem too. But he's definitely in control of this match right now.
He may be playing 1-7-3-12 now.
Yeah, slide over, sure.
No, it's a 1-3, whatever.
He's just shoot either one of those 2 balls next in the side pocket, and probably 12-7. Grady's definitely in control of this match and playing well right now. He's hitting everything. He's right on the button with most of his shots. Nice little angle, go right into the balls here.
And once again, he's come up with a nice shot. Nice shot to open up the next rack with.
The score is now Mathews 71, Butera 39.
Mike Zuglin, table number 4, playing Pat Fleming in a 9-ball match. Zuglin has the lead against Fleming 9 games. I believe 9 games to 4.
And on the other table over here by us is Clevelander J.R. Gay, 66, Jimmy Fusco 31. And J.R. is playing an excellent tournament. He's 3-2 with a big win last night over Steve Mizrak.
I'm talking about Steve Mizrak. He's playing Rich Lesky on the adjacent table. I don't believe Steve's faring very well against Rich Lesky. Rich Lesky is ahead in their match 7 games, I believe 7 games to 1.
Grady again has executed a perfect break shot. The balls have broken open. There's no problems as yet. He has a 14 ball here on the left side of the rack that's sitting real well now for the next rack if he wants to go with a break shot on that side. He wants to get that 5 ball out of the way. That's a rail ball here. It's a bad ball, but I would expect him to shoot it now, but it doesn't look like he's going to shoot it now. He's going to shoot that 12 ball side pocket hanger.
I think he's going to need to open up the balls a little bit and get something on that bottom cushion. Well, he played position for the 5.
Right. He just might stay there. Maybe shoot the 8 next, or shoot the 3 in the side next. 14's wide open too.
Okay, yes, be careful here.
I don't know if he played shot. He got away with a nice shot there to get the 2 on the side. I know he didn't play shape on that ball, but nevertheless, he's in good shape. But maybe a little kick shot here, draw underneath the 9 if he can, and he needs a roll. I don't know if he got it.
Yeah, I do believe he has room to pocket the 11. It's close. No, he doesn't seem like he likes that.
I don't think he wanted to end up the way he did there. He kind of turned that one loose. That's one of the more mental mistakes he's made during this run.
The combination. I haven't played the 8 in the corner. He's hit it well enough to get it.
And he's back in line. I'm wondering if he likes that 4 ball. You were talking about those high break shots. There's a perfect example right there. But
he doesn't.
What does he do with the 6 and 9?
He doesn't have the angle to attain a shot on the 6. Therefore, he's going to have to send the cue ball around the table.
What he'll do now, I believe, is just to break him with the 3. This could be a very delicate shot here if he's going to try to hit the 9.
Yeah, well, if he hits the 9, I think he's going to end up with a shot on the 6.
He didn't try that, though.
He played for the
obviously, his
position.
balls are open to this other pocket here.
Yeah, but still, there's no guarantee that he's going to get in line to play position for the 9 after pocketing the 6.
Could he nudge the 9 out here? Right, exactly.
And he did that really very, very nicely.
He worked his way through that rack. That was not the easiest of racks, the way it ended up. And,
no, it wasn't. He's going to have to play
he
another
ends up
good
with
shot.
your high break shot. Let's see how he executes it.
It's very nicely done. Speed is perfect.
Grady is definitely in total command at this point. And they say, I guess a man is he's at the break of elimination, so to speak, and he's rising to the occasion.
Yeah, that's exactly what he's doing. Is the score 99-39?
I believe they didn't put up that last rack.
Or is it 85-39?
There's that identical break shot where you talked about, where you hit the high break shot, you hit the top 2 balls to the side rail and out in the middle of the table, exactly as you explained it before.
He didn't open up very well, though.
No, he didn't. But he got lucky with a nice 12 ball there. And
when it comes to the 8, it's coming down table to spoil the party here.
He's gonna. Oh my, that's one of the more bad rolls you'll see in a match. He's have to work a little here to get these balls broke because he has one shot, the 13 ball. And if he shoots it in the side, he might have to turn the cue ball loose and go up the table and back. The 9 ball down here behind the rack doesn't seem to be open. He made a good shot on it.
Good shot. He may have a dead ball here. The 6 ball possibly might be dead.
Is he looking at the 3? Yes, that's what it was. The 3 ball. Well, he got out of that mess.
It's always nice to have a dead ball to sustain the run.
Absolutely, it helps. He would have had to manufacture something there. It wasn't the easiest of lives. We have a winner on the other table, Rich Lesky. Or Steve Mizek was unscrewing and changing a shaft. Excuse me.
And Lesky is in the lead 7-2. I didn't think he had that much time.
Yeah, that was
put together 4.
That'd have been a Butera special there.
Yeah. Zoglin is ahead of Pat Fleming, 10-5.
Grady just shot a nice over the ball shot, and well, if he wants another one of those high 1 ball break shots, and
I think that's a little too high,
yes.
though. He would like to do something with the 6 if it's possible.
He tried to nudge the 7, and
he has nudged
he got
the
it.
7.
He's
yes.
fine. So now he can use the 6 ball or 15 to maybe go up and get the 8-10 out of the way. 6 is would be the shot, but it's a little bit of too severe a cut, I think. But you'd have to turn the cue ball loose. He's going to go with the 15 ball.
Now he can play position for the 8 here.
Right, that was exactly it. Did he
Well,
get the
watch
roll?
out.
Did he
Watch
get the
out.
roll?
He may have to use his break shot, his break ball to send him
Ooh.
now.
That's not how he wanted. He went into him, but there was no insurance there. Yeah, he's definitely open with the 7, so he'll have to change his break shot.
He's looking to break him with the 1 now.
Yep, and probably use the 11 ball as his key ball.
Yep, and that's exactly what he has in mind. He's going to shoot the 10, 8, 5, and then the 11.
He's being very deliberate. Plus, he's waiting for the player on the other table, so chance to gather his thoughts.
Oh, he's not happy with the angle that he has.
No, he's left himself an angle where he has to go down the table. And no, he tried to hold it up. That's a nice shot there. But he'll be right in line with the 11 ball, 5-11. Yeah, Grady's right in shape. He now has a 99-39 lead, and you know, Billy, I don't know how far.
He's running 60-plus balls, I believe.
How far away? I was gonna say how far he can go to where you would think Luke will still come back in this match. I mean, it's a time where you pull away on an opponent, and it seems insurmountable.
Oh, don't forget that last match, Grady had Jimmy Fusco 115 or 120 to like 15 or 20.
Right.
And lost that match.
Jimmy made a tremendous comeback, and he hit that ball beautiful. And as we talked about earlier, how we were wondering whether that might have an adverse effect on Grady. Well, obviously it hasn't. He's just come back with a vengeance here.
Looks like he may have the 9. He for sure has the 5.
And he'll shoot over a ball here on the 5, but he could just maybe roll up for the 4 ball.
Grady has been absent from the professional billiard tour now for about a year. Very disgruntled man about the way he's been treated as a player for some reason. And
Well,
he's
Grady,
opted not to play on the tour.
Grady is, to me, has always been a perfect gentleman, and he's paid his dues to the game, and I wish he could reap some of the rewards the pool might have to offer.
You know, you really do have a point there.
Besides being
he's paid his dues.
Besides being a great player, he's always been a gentleman.
He's paid his dues, and I guess he figures he's entitled to reap some of the benefits other players are reaping that haven't really paid their dues, per se. And he seems a little disheartened with it all, and actually has a valid reason. But he has showing up here for this event and playing quite well, I might add.
Grady's always supported my tournaments. And getting back to this rack, he's sailed through it also as the last 3 or 4, and looks like, again, the 14 could be probably the 12 ball sitting perfect on his side of the rack, so with maybe the 2 balls as key ball. I'm very impressed with the way Grady has come back in this match off his last loss, and we had maybe a 15-minute break, and he's come right back to the table. Over on table 1, J.R. Gay is rolling along with an 80-30 win over Jimmy Fusco at the moment, and shooting. J.R. Gay has recently won the qualifier in Toledo, Ohio to play in the U.S. Open next month in New York City, so that was a big accomplishment for him. I'd like to see him do well up in New York.
Yes, it was, and it was like a tune-up for this event, I might
Sure,
add.
and the timing came perfect for, since you don't get that many opportunities to play straight pool.
And once again, Mathews runs the balls that he needs to run. He finds himself in a very good line for the break ball going into the next rack.
The score now is 113 for Grady and 39 for Butera. There's only been a couple times during this run where Grady even seemingly was out of line, but other than that, he's been fairly flawless.
There we go, back in action, just as he prepares to pocket the break ball, which he does, opening up the balls nicely, and he's on his way again, Frank.
Yeah, you know, Billy, you watch straight pool, and when certain players are on a run, you could sense the momentum is built up, the way they hit certain break shots, and these last couple, Grady is he's hitting them with real authority.
Well, he may have a slight problem here. I expect to see him shoot the 1. It doesn't appear that the 2 will pass the 3-14 into the corner pocket. Maybe the 15 on the side. If that's the 15 or the 11, I'm not sure. I think it's the 11, but I wouldn't be surprised if he shot the 1 here.
I don't believe he wants to shoot a long, tough 5-ball shot, so I think you're right. He's definitely going to shoot the 1 ball.
He really doesn't have anything that appealing, but the 1, I think, is probably the best of the shots he has available. At least finally come to the realization that the 1 is the ball he is going to pocket, or try to pocket.
Well, he
and
made
does
the
it
1,
nicely.
and did he leave himself with
Well, he's left himself
easy?
in a spot again. After pocketing the 1, he ran into the...
I don't think he's at all happy with that outcome.
No. He has a tougher shot now than he had on the 1.
It's like he's shooting with the 11 ball up in the left-hand corner, and that was a strong shot.
Very
strong
nicely
shot.
done. And that's a tough shot for anyone to put down. Anyone. Believe me, that was a difficult shot. He hit that shot in the center of the pocket.
As they say in basketball, nothing but net. And every once in a while, you'll have to pull off one of those kind of shots to run 100 balls or more.
And I think Grady is nearing that mark right now. I thought perhaps when he started this run, he had around 20 or 30 balls. Now he's at about 115, 116.
And you called it before the match, where Grady is, a 100-ball runner, very consistent 100-ball runner. And again, no foreseeable problem here. 2 4-ball sitting perfect outside the rack. No hard balls there. Just get a couple of these back rail balls out, and he's fine. 3-8.
Yeah, and the way things are going, and as nicely as he's been playing, and I wouldn't make him much of a dog not to close out Lou here in this match.
You could tell that he definitely feels it, and I'm sure you've experienced it many times where you're sitting in a chair there, and you can see or feel that your opponent's running out. He's going to run out. You don't ever expect to get back to the table. And this seems to be one of those runs for Grady.
And he's got a nice little fortuitous little kiss there, leaving himself a nice shot on the 7.
So now he'll just get those 2 balls out of the way in the side pocket next, and well, he crossed me up there. I thought he'd just try to hold it there for the 5, but
it appears like he wants to clear the 5-15 last, leaving him the 4 ball as a break ball.
Yep. He'll just shoot both of those balls in the side, or he could just stop the 5 right there and shoot his 15 up in the corner, get a nice angle.
I would imagine that considering the position of the 2 balls, it really gave him a lot of options.
Well, he's going to draw back here. He didn't.
He got himself a little out of line on the 15.
He left himself straight on that ball, and I don't know why he did that.
Well, that's due to carelessness, I do believe.
Lou has just told the crowd that Grady is now on a run of 98 balls. And the score is 127 to 39 in favor of Grady.
Well, obviously, Grady must have had 25 balls,
right,
or 29 balls.
29 balls he started this run at.
I figured he had close to 20 or 30 balls. Well, that's very nicely done.
There's one of those break shots I was talking about. He really slammed that one.
Mike Zuglin just defeated Pat Fleming in the 9-ball match, which gives him now a 5 wins and 1 loss record.
And Grady Mathews has just missed his 100th ball. Mental error.
That's a nice run, 99 balls.
Well, that's...
You would like to break the century mark, but 99, you know, I'll take it anytime.
I don't know if that was just a mental lapse there or there was no excuse. It was an easy shot.
And Lou went in between the 6 and the 9, and he's found himself in this tough spot. And that's
a little shell shocked when someone hits you with
really hard
a 100-ball run. It's hard to get up there and, you know, get up there and get loose. But he played a beautiful kiss shot right there. Good shot. Well, you've seen Lou play many times, Billy, and
you know,
you wouldn't want to bet your rent money against him winning this game, would you?
No, you know, and I was just thinking that, you know, whenever anyone runs a lot of balls on Lou Butera or makes a good showing, Lou is even more determined to do well when he gets back to the table. And you can see the expression and determination on his face now, you know, as he's back at the table. Like, I'm going to really put something together here now and show, you know, show Grady and everyone here that I can do it the same.
And also, no one likes to get embarrassed. I mean, you want to get back. You don't like to lose 150 to 39, and you want to try to run some balls. And I'm sure Lou has won many games like this coming from behind, as has Grady. I remember, you know, probably old friend of yours, Richie Florence. I heard him remark to someone one time where he had played 5 matches, like in a 2-week period, where in each one of the matches, he had a 100-ball run and lost every game.
That's really hard luck.
I mean, I've seen many 100-ball runs lose games, so you never know. It's just that's why straight pool's such a beautiful game, because there's never a time when it's over.
And that's funny that you mentioned Richie Florence's name. There's another man who's a competitor, a true competitor. There, you know, comes from the same mold as Lou Butera.
I don't think so, though.
He doesn't like where he's ended up.
I believe he froze up on a 3, and oh my, that was a careless mistake there. There's no excuse for that. And by the look on his face, I think he's definitely froze.
Well, he wants to play something. He's looking to see if he has enough room to play the 7 in the side.
I'm sure we'll go in the corner, but he's going inside with this ball. That's a nice shot right there.
He went and put on his spectacles.
Yeah, you know, if we notice Billy, there he goes. Lou just put his glasses on to shoot that ball, so it helped him tremendously, I guess.
Yeah, it
but he put him
did.
back now. But he's left himself an extremely
Wait a second. Oh, no, it didn't grab, but it had the reverse.
He rushed that ball. We were talking earlier about how Lou shoots well from the back rail, but that was an extremely hard shot under these circumstances. He made an excellent shot, but again, he paid the price for the mental lapse on the froze ball. Well, he didn't leave Grady with, I mean, he left him with a long 2-ball shot, which I don't think Grady will have any problem pocketing.
Let's get the overhead view, John, and find out exactly what he has available.
Well, there's one of those liners that we were talking to 3-ball, but this one seems out. But what he can do here is shoot the 1 ball inside, but that's a severe cut. He might use a 9
He
ball
could
for
shoot
3.
the 9 and maybe the 1 in the corner. Maybe that.
Well, if the 1
works.
isn't too high, I would just maybe get the 3 out right now and
what I'm
3, 9,
saying
12.
is, if the 3 ball is a break ball, he can shoot the 9. If the 1 passes the 3 into the corner, he can play position for the 1 now.
Yeah.
Or he could just maybe nudge the 1 over off the 3 if it doesn't pass.
That looks like the shot right now, because he'll have a perfect shape on the 12. You can go either way here, but I think he'll nudge the 1 out with the 3 and keep a little angle. Well, he's just satisfied with the 1 right there, so obviously the ball isn't as high as we thought.
Well, he apparently didn't have the angle to move the 1 with.
He'll go 1 rail here, hit the ball perfect, and I think Lou blew his golden opportunity if he had one in this match. Back on table 1, J.R. Gaze at the table once again with a commanding 105-36 win over Jimmy Fusco. Jimmy played a demanding game against Grady his last match, and obviously he's feeling the effects of it. score is 132 for Mathews, 48 for Butera. And Grady's shooting a perfect break shot. And we talked about him hitting the balls with authority. This time he tried to pick at him. That's what happens when you have that high break shot. If you try to slam him, you'll jump over the rack and you have nothing. But he got himself with a nice combination, so he's okay. He's a 9 ball to get on a 7 breaker.
Looks like things are working out well for him in this match.
You know, he's taken advantage of Lou's mistakes, that's for sure. You know, he's always been able to stay at the table a while off of Lou's miss. And as usual, he hit that one with authority, and the ball's broke open well. He's wide open.
And very quickly, once again, I'd like to get the overhead view to find out what kind of a break shot he may have here, if any.
Well, it looks like maybe as the way they're laying right now, the 6 ball is probably his best option. He'd prefer it closer to the rack, but he might still try to nudge something. But I'm sure he'd be most comfortable with the 6 ball as a breaker as it is right now. He needs to get the 13 out, which he's going to do right now. Go down for the 10, get the rail balls out of there. I'm sure you'd agree, in 2 days, this is by far Grady's best match.
Well, Grady did run a 95, I believe, against Pat Fleming, was it?
And somewhere in the 90s, I'm not sure the exact number.
But this is a...
It seems he's been very consistent this match. I didn't get a chance to see that one, but this one here, he's been very consistent. You know, like, you could sense the confidence level in him throughout this match. He was just a little tap, 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 and you see the 8-15, and the 6 ball will be perfect.
Just as lucky as what
You get dead perfect on the 15, and he'll have a perfect 6 ball break shot. He uses the rail very nicely and left himself at the perfect angle. The score is now Grady 146, Lou Butera 48. So it looks like Grady's out, barring unforeseen bad roll here. Well, the board, with the exception of maybe the top score up there, Billy, other than Mike Zuggan, looks like we're going to have a nice balanced field here. Nobody's running away with this thing other than Mike.
Well, Mike isn't exactly running away with it. A couple losses and, because it's still early. It's still early in the event.
Well, that puts him now at 5-1, am I right?
Yes, it is.
The board is not updated yet.
Lou will have 4-2.
4-2. So he's 1 game ahead. But we have a lot of pool to play, so it's much too early to start talking about that. Grady run out, and our final score is 150 for Grady and 48 for Lou Butera.
Yeah, Grady played an excellent match. He didn't make very many errors at all, and he took advantage of the errors that Lou did make. And he managed to put in a 99 ball run, which is acceptable in any league.
Absolutely. You can beat a lot of people with hundreds.
And possibly he'll come over and we'll be able to have a few words to say to him about his performance here. Well, Grady, congratulations. It really isn't often that I congratulate you, but I'm forced to do that. And
I know that kills you.
Well, it really does, but I mentioned to Frank prior to the match beginning that, Grady plays excellent pool. He's a top 9 ball player. He's a tremendous 1-pocket player. But I think, and I really do think this, and this is sincere, I really believe that straight pool is your best game.
Well, I appreciate you saying that. I love straight pool, Billy. This has been a tough tournament for me. My first straight pool match, I broke the balls, and Steve Mizrak ran 150 and out. We took a couple scratches, and he ran 153 and out. My 9-ball matches, I haven't even had a chance. Quite frankly, the guys are making more balls than I am on the break, and I'm not getting much to shoot at. But straight pool, I feel very comfortable.
As a matter of fact, in your second match against Pat Fleming, your straight pool match, that is, Pat Fleming ran 100 balls against you, didn't he?
Yes, he did. Well, Pat's a great straight pool player, and I like to see him out competing in more of this kind of thing. And of course, Frank runs a wonderful event. If I can just encourage him to totally drop 9-ball, it'll really be a fun thing.
Well, let's tally this up, Frank. Grady has played 3 straight pool matches. One, he had no chance, Mizrach running 153
Sure.
and out. The other 2 matches that he played, he ran a 95 and a 99. So therefore, his presence is very, very much felt in
Actually, he's
straight pool.
played 2 brilliant games.
I'm tuning up for the U.S. Open coming up next month in New York City. I don't know what happened to that 8-ball, fellas. I just tried to cinch it.
We were talking about that. She's going for a 100
Well, I didn't
ball
do anything
line.
wrong. I stayed down on it and I followed through. I just missed it. Maybe the thought of my erstwhile companion here, Mr. Cardone, seeing me run 100 prompted me to miss it. I didn't want to do that.
What I'd like to ask you, Grady, we commented on this during the match, being the way your last match went with Jimmy, where you had the seemingly insurmountable lead, and he came back to beat you. And then you have to play a match 20 minutes later. How much does that affect you?
That doesn't bother me, Frank. I'm a professional. I made a living at it all my life. That was a match with Jimmy that I just couldn't win. He missed a 15 ball and tried to break the stack up and left me safe, and I played it safe and knocked one dead. It was just a match that I wasn't going to win no matter what happened.
Well, obviously you showed
and of course,
no
he's a
effects.
great player. If I'm going to lose to somebody, I just assume it would be a Lou Butera or a Jimmy Fusco. I just enjoy coming out and playing. I just wish that all the tournaments featured straight pool or one pocket. Here, Frank and Billy, at least if a guy splatters a stack, I'm going to have a shot 99% of the time. Or to put it another way, going back some 30 years, the number of times that I lost to somebody playing one pocket or straight pool when I felt like they were lucky is about 1/4 of 1% of the time. 9-ball is even money occurrence.
Right. Well, you
And
played
I
a very
alluded- I-
consistent.
Go ahead,
Played a
Frank.
very consistent match. We commented on that earlier also, that you were not only, of course you run a 99 balls, but whenever Lou gave you an opportunity, you took advantage of it in this match.
I feel like my patterns are good, and as you guys know, that's all straight pool is. I mean, the ball pocketing, you're not supposed to have to shoot anything hard anyway.
But you did shoot a nice shot when you pocketed the 11 ball in the upper left-hand corner pocket, actually splitting the heart of the pocket with the shot. That was a type of a shot that really was quite a difficult shot.
Well, that's something I've learned, I'll be honest with you, about straight pool, watching some of the great players over the years. There's a spot where that was just clearly my highest percentage shot, and I might as well make up my mind to hit it with a little authority. I would never lag one like that.
Right.
I think your percentage of making it goes way down.
Yeah, I
And of course, it's
definitely agree.
easier to make a shot like that when you already have run quite a few balls.
Well, you've played now three straight pool matches up to this point, right?
3, yeah.
And which leaves you 4 left. And you've only played 1 9-ball match, right? Up at this
No, I
point?
played 2. I lost
2?
both of them.
So that leaves you 5 9-ball matches and 4 straight pool matches.
No, I've only got 3 straight pools left. I played 4 straight pools. I'm 2-2, I think, in the straight pool.
Okay.
I lost when Mizrach beat me, and I lost to Jimmy Fusco just
So
now.
in order to do well in this tournament, you're going to have to win playing 9-ball.
Well,
You
it's
realize
not. It's
that.
not that I can't play 9-ball. It's
Oh, I
just
understand that, but you're
it's
just going to
just
have to look at it a little bit
the
differently
doggone
now.
game embarrasses me to have been associated with it over these years. I think it's holding the sport back. Can you imagine, just for an example, a golfer having his ball behind a tree, and what you do is add some more holes and let him hit his golf ball into these other trees propitiously placed and let it go around like a pinball machine, and maybe he'll get close to one of these other holes. I mean, it's ludicrous playing 9-ball. Anyway,
Well,
I've enjoyed
well
coming to the
spoken.
event. Frank's my old friend.
Well,
I got to tell how I feel about 9-ball. I think it's holding us all back. And to be honest with you, it started off being on TV back in 1961 when the Jasko brothers started, and it hasn't gotten anywhere since. So don't you think it's time we maybe went to some more skillful pursuits like straight pool, one pocket, and marriage?
Well,
Well, on that note, I think
appreciate
that,
your
we'll
being
close it.
candid.
Okay.
Okay, once again, congratulations on a well-played match here against Lou Butera.
Well,
and,
thank you. I appreciate coming to the tournament, and I look forward to coming every year. See you guys later.
And
Thanks, Grady.
Good luck
Thank you
with
very
your
much.
upcoming match. Well, okay, Frank. Once again, it's been a pleasure working with you.
Same here,
And this
Billy.
day is now over. And,
Well, we have 2 more days of competition. The leaderboard looks fairly balanced, as we were saying. And, Got a lot of pool to play yet.
Absolutely. We have a lot more pool to play and a lot more matches to do together. And I'm certainly sure we're going to see some great pool being played.
Oh, yeah.
Tomorrow and the day after. So, in behalf of Frank Zummo, this is Bill Incardona saying thanks a lot for supporting ACCUSTATS. Take a look at Grady on the monitor there. Isn't he a good looking guy?
That's the call, the thrill of victory right there.
Yes, it is. Okay, thanks a lot for supporting ACCUSTATS, and we'll see you tomorrow. And if you know what tomorrow is, ask Pat Fleming this year. They can explain to you the matches that are for tomorrow when you call them up. Thank you.